everybody. Can you see me and can you hear me? Who's in here? Hi, Susan. You're going to be legging today? Well, leg away and have fun. Hopefully, it won't be boring. So, can you hear me just fine? Before I'm just yabbering away. I hope you can hear me. Good, Susan, good. So I can just keep talking and you can hear me. Right now it's just you and me, Susan. Well, no, right now it's nobody. Okay. Good. So today's an interesting day. After this live, I'm going to have dinner. And then later I'm going live with Crafting with Shay. I don't know if you know her. She's an amazing content creator here on YouTube. She does a lot of diamond painting videos, and she's amazing. And she has this thing where she invites newer content creators to her live on Sundays. And about a month ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, something like that, she invited me, little me. My time is 11 p.m., Susan. Hi, Morgana. So nice to see you. So yeah, I'm a bit, I'm just a teeny tiny channel and I'm going on Shay's live. Yay. I'm so excited. Hopefully it'll be okay. I mean, last week she had Anthony from Single and Placing, and that was quite a thing, They had questions and everything, so I'm like, yeah, what am I going to do? Because I didn't plan for that. All I got is my Denmark t-shirt. I mean, that's not that interesting, is it? I don't know. But hopefully it'll be okay, and there will be a lot of people, and yeah. Well, compared to a lot of others, Susan, I will be teeny tiny. I mean, like, I have 67 subs right now. Yay. Hopefully I will get closer to 100. I mean, that would be great if I get above 100 subs within this week, That would be amazing. So, yeah. So what have you all been up to this weekend or this week? I hope you had a good week. Our week was meh. Yeah, I know. I've seen some of the other ones she had on and they got like 100 or 200, sorry. It's a tiny, we call them banana flies, and I have no idea what it's doing in here, but yeah. But I've seen some of the others and they got like a gazillion new viewers, and it's like, okay, I'm very excited to see what's going to happen to me in my little channel. I mean, even after I did the craftathon, I got like 20 new subs. So yeah, but I hope they'll love me, that I'm not boring to them. So yeah. So this week, yeah, it was kind of interesting, or maybe not interesting. It was, I don't know, a little sad because do you remember I told you about Max, our Norwegian forest cat? He got these seizures. And then last Sunday, I mean, like not 10 minutes after I stopped my live, he had another one. Oh my God, it was, yeah. I've just left to the bathroom because I had to, go to the bathroom. And then I heard, someone came running and it felt like they were rubbing everything apart and everything went flying. That's what it sounded like. And, I couldn't do anything. So I kind of hurriedly finished my business at the bathroom and then went out. And then in David's office room, Max was on the floor and he was having another seizure. And I was like, oh no, what happened? And thank God, David, this time he recorded it so we could send it to our vet, which we did on Monday. Sorry. And he then called me on Tuesday and said, yeah, it's epilepsy. So we have to get him over here as soon as possible. We need to do a check of him, and we need to draw some blood to see that it's not something with his liver or his kidneys or anything internal. And also if he can tolerate the medication, because if his liver and kidney levels were, I don't know, skewed, he wouldn't be able to get the medicine. And then he asked me, can you come over here tomorrow at noon? Like, yeah, I can do anything. It's my baby. I need to do anything to take care of him. Yeah, so I wrote David and told him, the vet just called and we have to be there tomorrow. And so I went home. I had been at our old house to pick up a letter. And Pony! Yay, welcome. Ooh, bingo. Great. Well, you enjoy your bingo and listen to my rambles here. So we went to the vet the next day, and Max was amazing. He was like just laying there, letting the vet do all his thing, Then he needed to take the blood sample, and I was like, oh my God, I'm very, how is this going to go? And, I said, I'm going to try to help you. Oh, love you too, Steph. I'm going to try to help him, maybe he had to call in the nurse, because sometimes the cats get very agitated because of the needle. So I just, grabbed him in his neck, not hard in anywhere, just, I'm here and I'm going to help you stay calm. Sabrina, hey, welcome. Oh my God, so many new people. Yay. So I held him, and then the vet put in the needle, and Max was just like, oh, I'm just here, you can do whatever you want. And he got his blood sample, and we were talking a bit about epilepsy and medicine and stuff like that. And then Max was just, are we done yet? And the vet rubbed his leg to stop the blood from running. And oh my God, And then the vet told us that he would be calling me the next day to let us know how everything looked in the blood. And we went home, and Max was like, on his merry way, eating and drinking and playing with his brothers. And we were like, we have a cat with epilepsy now. My poor baby. And I was like, what did I do wrong? How come he got epilepsy at the age of 5.5? And, all the things you ask yourself, right? So, yeah. So the vet called Thursday and told us that everything looked fine and all his numbers were great, even though he just had the seizure on Sunday. Then it's normal that the liver numbers go up a little, which is very normal, but Max was just right on point, so that he would subscribe some medication to him that he needed to take a half mornings and a half evenings, and then in about a week or a week and a half, he would call again to hear, how are things going, and have you had any seizures, and, do we need to up the medication, stuff like that. So we got the medication yesterday, and he just had his first half a pill this morning. So, yeah. We're just, oh, poor Max, and oh my God, my little baby. And we kind of went from no sick cats to 3 in a hot minute, it feels like, because we have Oscar with his Corona A and his, fluid poop. And I mean, we still need to get him to the Rainbow Bridge, but right now I can't take it. You know, he's not hurting and he seems okay, but we need to do that, because that's the right thing to do. But right now I'm like, I can't take it, And then we have Flux, but he's just constantly snotty. He's like, chew, and his snot goes everywhere. Hey, Don. Who was it? Sabrina, your dog who has epilepsy? Yeah, the seizures are horrible. I mean, it's so terrible to watch them just jitter and everything goes. I'm like, what can I do? And yeah, I really, really hope that the medication helps. Yeah, Magana, we really hope the medicine helps. We really, really do. Hey, Don, welcome. So did the other live at Rebecca's end now? So yeah, that's been quite the week with Max and his epilepsy. Then on Monday I was supposed to have Rosa, but then Sunday evening my brother wrote that she was sick. So, I mean, I didn't see her this week. And she had a high fever and snot all over her face, Sorry. Oh, Dawn, your cat gets medicine for seizures as well? Does it have epilepsy or is it something else? I love how you all talk between yourself as well as I'm talking here. So, Steph, are you winning anything in your bingo? By the way, the thank you note, is that for your pen drop? I mean, I don't know. I haven't gotten one of your pins yet, so I'm just curious. Yeah, epilepsy, that's what our Max has. Sabrina, my dog is on homeopathic meds. She's 6 now and it presented in a Grand Mall when she was 1 year and got her rabies shot. Oh no! There were signs earlier, but we didn't know. Oh, we did read, I asked in a big cat group in Denmark on Facebook, and they all talked about CBD oil. And we will look into it, but right now I'm like, get him the medicine from the vet and see how that helps. And then he talked about that after a year you have to, review how the medicine is working, and if you maybe need to stop it, because some cats can only take it for about a year, and then maybe then we will look into the yeah. Oh, Stephanie, thank you. Wow, that's a lot of money. Do you have what's it called? You say you make a insurance on your dogs. We have insurance on our cats, but we just we went in and read how much they cover, and apparently they don't cover medicine for for illnesses, so we have to pay that ourselves. But they're our babies. What was wrong with your dog's knee, Stephanie? Since it was that expensive, I mean, $10,000 is a lot of money. Oh, I'm sorry, Stephanie, you didn't win. I would love to get one of those pens one day, Stephanie. One day I'll have one. Because your pens are thinner, right? I prefer the thinner ones, even though I want one from Enabler's Outpost. I mean, some of them are pretty thick. I mean, this one from SUBSCRIEBE is my fattest pen, and this one's okay, but I actually prefer this one from Cadiot, and that's pretty thin. So, yeah. But I love that you write handwritten notes. That's so personal. You give moose, something called ADR, adrenal something, and then omega-3 oil. And that helps? Stephanie. Yeah. Yes, I really like this Cadiot one. It has these big chunks of silver flakes in it. And I remember I think I showed it on Instagram. And this lady wrote me like, oh, I've been trying to get that one for blah blah blah, and I never get it. And I actually thought that they didn't have it, and like, yeah, this is my first pen from them, and this is what I got. But really, I just wanted it to get the two placer because I have tried multi placing, and for the life of me, I can't get the hang of it. So, but these little two placers on some of my canvases, I can do it. But I figured that it has to be something with the canvases. I mean, these cheap AliExpress ones, they have different sizes, I think. So, yeah, you have to tell Matt that he has to do questions so you can, I mean, generic notes are also better than no notes, but I think it's funnier when you can write something personal to them, right? I mean, I would do that as well. Oh, Sabrina, that's great. So, what happened since he isn't seizure free anymore? The joint of his back knee were bad. Oh no. Yeah, Sabrina. One day. One day. And also the drops right now is at 2 a.m. here in Denmark. And I mean, yeah, I'm usually still awake around there, but I'm on my way to bed. So I'm like, yeah, one day. One day. How much is the shipping from America to Canada? I mean, I spoke to Stephanie the other day, and last year shipping from the US to Denmark was around 15 euros, and maybe it's around 20 euros now. Uh, Stephanie, others, we had to do corrective surgery. Oh no. Yeah. I mean, they're your baby, so you would pretty much do anything, right? So I think we will get something from the blood draw and the other thing got done the other day, but the medication we have to buy ourselves. And it's a jungle trying to find insurance for animals over here because then you have to pay like a gazillion dollars to get coverage for, I don't know, chronic illnesses, and they can't have them before you. Oh, no. Sabrina, she still gets seizures. They're just spaced out. Uh, oh no, that's poor her, Sabrina. Is the shipping to Canada even more than to Denmark? Oh my god. It's crazy. It's crazy. I, that told us that when an animal has a seizure, like epilepsy, they don't know what's going on. So that, comforts me a little that he don't know what's going on at the minute. Um, but you can see that just when he's out of the seizure, he's like, "Where am I? And who are you people?" It takes them a second to snap back into action. Did you have to go somewhere to get the rehab, Stephanie? Or could you do it at home? If you, if I ever get one of your pens, Stephanie, I would love it if they could be shipped as a gift, because then you have up to some amount, I can't remember, about 300 Danish kroner, that you can ship and get as a gift without me needing to pay that. And then on top of that, I have to pay a fee to the postal service for $22. I mean, so the VAT is 25%, and then on top of that, $22. So in a hot second, I could end up paying twice the amount before I even get it into Denmark. It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, like, why can't we just do it so that all the web shops and I don't know what they automatically and I wish it was automated, so that the small shops didn't have to do anything. But when you open up a shop, they would automatically go, "Oh, you're shipping this one to Denmark, so you have to add 25% VAT, and then it's ship it out," so that the small shops don't have to do all the work because, oh my God, I mean, that is so much work. Also because the countries, especially in Europe, we all have different VAT. So in Germany, I think it's around 15%. In Denmark, it's 25. And I don't know, Spain might have another one again. And yeah, it's a headache. Oh, poor doggo. Oh, Stephanie, that poor dog. How long did it take to do the rehab? Yeah, it's crazy, Stephanie. All this VAT, and I don't know. Yeah, that's even I can't figure it out, and I live here. I just hate that whenever I'm ordering from a small shop, I have to go in and ask, "Can you please ship this as a gift?" Just so that I have to pay that darn fee and $22. Oh, I would hate to only see my cats in the weekends because he had to do rehab. I mean, I would move in, call the person and say, "So do you have an extra room? I'm moving in." I mean, I no. I miss my babies when I'm away for the weekend. I mean, when I was at the knitting retreat, I was like, I can't wait to come home to my babies. I can't even imagine not seeing them for that long. When we were on holiday, before the virus hit everything, we were on a holiday for about 2 weeks every year or every other year, and my mom would look after the babies, and she would send pictures, every day, today Max did this and today Oscar did that, and yeah. Yeah, Sabrina. They're my fair babies. They're my babies. So since we don't have babies ourselves because of this mess, they are my babies. I mean, they're spoiled, and I don't know what. I mean, we have to take a look at all the toys because they have a lot of toys and they don't play with it. But it's so funny when we then have Rosa out here. She just goes in and like, Rosa, what are you doing? Looking for cat toys. We're like, okay, to play with the cat? No, I'm gonna play with it. Okay. Okay, Stephanie, you just write your notes. I still love the idea of getting personalized notes. Imagine if every small shop owners did that. I mean, some of them, most of them do, right? I don't get that much shopping done for diamond painting or small shops. But I did buy one yesterday from Diamond Art Club. And I had to because it was a limited edition. So you care to guess which one I bought yesterday? I can't tell you it's a square because I don't do rounds. So which one do you think I had to have yesterday from Diamond Art Club? No, because that was a round, the cat one. I loved it because it looked just like our Pelle, but no. The big head? The big head. Was there a big head? Now I'm confused. So, no, because uh, the round one, right? But it was beautiful. And I was like, oh no, why did it have to be a round? The Mr. Whiskers, that is the one you mean, right? This one, it's so beautiful and it looks just like our Pelle, but it's a round. I don't like rounds. I mean, I would wish that I would just do anything and I would have bought it, but no. Was that also a limited edition? No, that's not a limited edition. No, the one that I had to have because it was limited edition and because, I liked it a lot is, come on, open. The Druid. I mean, isn't it amazing? So that will be my 4th Diamond Art Club. I love it. I mean, look at the wolf and his bare feet. And yes, it's a huge canvas, but I like them shoes because then I have fun for a longer time. I mean, the one that I'm almost done with here from my Drills and Chills is the 60 by 80, and I've enjoyed it I started a week in September, and now I'm down to the last row. I'm almost at the last row. I don't like small ones. It's kind of like a waste of money. No, it's not a waste of money, but I just like big canvases. Exactly. Much more fun for a longer time. It's so much more fun. And you kind of forget what the part that you haven't worked on yet, what it looks like. So it's kind of a surprise. And yeah, I like that. I prefer my big ones. I don't know if you watched Shay's live last week where Anthony talked about doing the nebulae from Diamond Painting Deutschland. I did that one too. And yeah, that was my first really big one. So yeah, the bigger the better. That's what I think as well. So, which is also why that the Enablers Outpost that I got to help them, try out the shipping directly from the factory is a big one as well. That's 50 by 125, I think. The Alphonse Mucha one. I think I have to do a real unboxing of that one. And I mean, I unboxed it in here in my life, but I think I need to figure out how to do unboxings, a setup, how I can do it, because most of my videos are just doing here, and I kind of need a setup so I can really show it off. I'll figure it out. Maybe cats can be props. Oh, that would be good, wouldn't it? Oh, I would love to do that one, Sabrina. But it was out of stock long before I even started doing diamond painting, I think. I was doing work on my computer yesterday, and I got all the photos from my phone to my computer. And I started my very first diamond painting in April of 2021. These dashes. I have to look into that at a time, but I mean, right now I have enough with the ones that I got. I mean, I still have to finish off all my AliExpress ones, and then I can begin working on my licensed ones. So, but I can't wait to be done with the AliExpress ones and then get started on the licensed ones, because I'm sure that the quality will be so much better. So, which is what people keep telling me, oh, just start the DIC ones. I'm like, no, because I need to finish the other ones first, because I will never get back to them. I think I was trying to explain it to David, and he was like, yeah, I understand that, because who wants to do bad quality when you have good quality ones? And it would be a waste of money. So, yeah. I think I have 4 AliExpress ones left. Even one Spangler, because I didn't know about, him being a big artist. I just saw the dragons, and I was like, oh, I love that one. So I am considering getting the Diamond Art Club ones, to compare them, because they're almost the same size. So how is it, Sabrina, when you mix them in? Isn't it all to do them? Because that would be my fear if I started the Diamond Art Club one and then did an AliExpress one. But then again, if I want to do a custom, I probably would go to AliExpress and get that one done there. So I mean, maybe I would do it anyway. I know that some of the AliExpress sellers are better than others. I mean, the ones that I found who did this one, and I have another canvas from this seller. It's actually very good. The quality of the drills are good, and the canvas is so much better than some of the first ones that I got. Also because it's port glue, and I just love port glue apparently. So Yeah, that's the thing, Sabrina. I mean, I didn't know at the time that, the stolen art. And it's funny that I didn't think about it because I've been knitting for 10 years now and have always been, you have to, no, not always, because again, in the beginning, I didn't know better. But at least for the past 8 or 9 years, I've been like, you have to buy your patterns because the designers need to get money for their work. It takes a lot of time to make knitting patterns or crochet patterns or I don't know what. I mean, you need to buy them, not just steal them from your friends or whatnot. I know, Dawn, but I went to look at her shop and her prices. And if I think the Diamond Art Club is expensive, yeah, that's a lot of money. So I hope that the exchange rate goes down a little so that I get to buy some from her because right now the exchange rate from Danish kroners to dollars is pretty high. So yeah. But I would love to do a JD Gem shop once. But if you just take some of them, let's say no. Most of her canvases, if you want them in a bigger size, are around $100, right? That's 750 Danish kroners, which is, I mean, it's almost 10% of my entire income for a month. I mean, maybe 8% of my entire income for the month. So, yeah, it's a lot of money when you're on disability. So I have to, I have to think about, what I'm buying. Um, but I'm not complaining because that's that's life. But I can't go ahead and buy because I don't have the money for it. And I don't want a big stash also because I know that my diamond paintings take time to do. And I mean, if you look over there, I do have a pretty big stash of yarn. So yeah. Exactly, Sabrina. Rent and food and cat care. That is the most important. So had I not been sick and had a normal job, yes, it would have been easier, but I mean, I don't like to play the what if game. And things is, I mean, we're not in any way in a rough spot because of David's job. But then again, as the things is right now, especially here in Europe with the inflation, is it called inflation in English? Where all the prices are rising and everything, and we're just a little more, cautious what we're buying. So yeah, and also I need to buy medicine and now also medication for Max. It's all inflation. Some people here in Denmark who uses gas for heating. Um, their heating has gone up like 100%. No, not even 100%. They went from maybe I don't know 1,000 kroners a month or something to up to 10,000. I mean, it's insane. I read someone who's like, we used to pay 10,000 Danish kroners a year for gas, and now they have to pay almost 100,000. I mean, I'm sorry. I can't even imagine how you're supposed to get that much money, especially if you're on don't have a job and have to get money from the state, right? How are you supposed to get that much money? No, I can't even imagine. So, is it bad in Canada, Sabrina? I mean, here everything is rising. The food is crazy. Butter is almost 3 times the price right now, 3 or 4 times. That is a big increase, Don. It's crazy, but it's because of the war between Russia and Ukraine, and here in Europe, most countries get a lot of their gas from, you guessed it, Russia. So they put a hold on it, um, so people have a hard time getting gas, and then you know the prices go up. Yeah, you should be grateful when you I mean, we all should be grateful that we're alive, right? But when you're in a good spot, I mean, it's important to remember that others have it worse. And even though usually I say you shouldn't compare situations, because if you feel that you're in a rough spot, you're in a rough spot, right? Even though you know that other people are worse off, but in this situation, there are people here in Denmark who may have to leave their home because they can't pay rent, they can't pay gas, they can't pay heat and electricity and food, and the politicians. Yeah, I'm not gonna go there because we're having an election in about 3 weeks, I think, and yeah, the thing they're talking about. I mean, they're talking about um, green energy, and they're talking about uh, refugees, and I'm like, this is not important right now. The important thing right now is how do people get through the winter without freezing to death or having to foreclose their homes, or I mean, that's important right now. How about we help people who are in a rough spot right now? I mean, in Denmark, when you're on disability, our income hasn't changed in about 20 years, 20 to 30 years. It hasn't changed. I mean, in the how long have I gotten disability? 7 years. My disability in these 7 years has maybe changed 300 kroners in 7 years. And I can tell you that prices has gone up way more than 300 kroners a year. I mean, yeah. Denmark is good as well, Sabrina, because we have paid healthcare and schools and stuff like that. But right now, yeah. Oh, Sabrina, that must have been so rough on your parents. How about your dad? Is he from Germany as well? I mean, Germany today is okay. It's not as good as Denmark, when it comes to taking care of people. But yeah, I can imagine being living in Canada is a lot better. Exactly, Morgana. How are we gonna get through the winter? That's important right now for a lot of people. And then when you ask the politicians, they just glide off. I mean, we have we have done something with the taxes for heat. Yeah, but taxes is like this small of a part of what we're paying. I mean, I think that David and I will save around 200 kroners in a year with these tax increases they've done. Increases is lowering it, right? Yeah, decreases is, yeah. So how is it gonna help that they lowered the taxes if it's not, a big sum of money that we're gonna save? It's oh, Sabrina, that must have been horrible. I lived in Berlin 22 years ago, and even back then, you could see when we drove through the city, you could see all the holes from the bullets and stuff like that. No, no. I mean, if my disability has gone up 300 Danish kroners in 7 years, in as you know 7 a year, it's like what 50? No, it's not even 40 Danish kroners a month, and then you have to pay tax. So it's like I don't know 20 kroners extra. I mean, you can't even get a cup of coffee for that kind of money. It must have been rough for them, Sabrina. I mean, and also for you, because of all the effects, the after effects for your parents. That's awful. When I lived in Berlin, then my au pair parents, their parents lived during the war, and my au pair mother's parents were from East Germany, and some of the stuff they told, about the war and after the war and what happened because they ended up in East Germany and how it was run. I mean, it's awful. I have friends in Germany, who told me about the day that the wall fell between East and West Berlin, and how people from East Berlin rushed in, and people would get them bananas and oranges, and people would cry because they have never had an entire orange or seen a banana in their entire lives. And I was, when she told me that, I was, we take bananas and oranges for granted, but imagine having never seen it. Yeah, it's horrible. That war was horrible, and you know, seeing the war between Russia and Ukraine right now, and how the president in Russia acts and talks, sometimes I fear that we're going to end up with another war here. Maybe a European war or something. But then many of the European countries is a part of NATO, and then NATO would have to step in. I mean, almost on a weekly basis, we have news about Russian ships in our waters around Denmark, and how some of the smaller ships lost their GPS because apparently there was this big Russian fighter cruiser who jammed the signals, and yeah. Hey, Matnat's Crazy World. So good to see you. Welcome. So happy you're here. Sabrina, that must have been so scary for your mom. So what did she do after the war? Did she have to, go back to school? Did she just manage with less school? I mean, I can't even imagine what it must have been like. But I'm happy that both her and your dad survived the war. She sounds like an amazing, amazing woman, Sabrina. Um, hearing about what Germany was like after the war. I mean, even though in the western parts of Germany it was still rough, and they had nothing. I mean, in Denmark we were occupied by Germany, and and things were rough here as well. But everybody was like hating on Germany after the war. I can't imagine what it must have been like for them, because people were like, "Yeah, we're not helping you." Oh, I'm so sorry, Sabrina. I understand how you must miss her. How old did your mom get, Sabrina? It must have been rough on your parents, to have kids. And I mean, I would be constantly afraid that something would happen, like that something like that would happen again, and then have children. It would be a constant fear in my mind. Yeah, I'm really sorry, Sabrina. It must have been a rough life. I can't even imagine. I remember my she made a choice to pass. We have a program here in Canada. Her quality of life wasn't good. We all got to say goodbye. She made a choice to pass. Is that like um, getting help to die? Yeah, we don't have that here in Denmark, sadly. I wish we had. Um, but apparently it's too controversial. We have to go to Belgium or the Netherlands, I think, if we want it. So, yeah. I think it's a good idea. I mean, if you really want to die, no matter if it's because of illness or mental issues, I mean, there was a case here in Europe about, is it 3 or 4 years ago, when a teenager had, you know, medical assistance in dying, and people were outraged because he or she was 16, I think, and like, she's a teenager or he's a teenager. How could you do that? And then the parents did an interview, and they were like, our child was mentally suffering, had such a deep, deep depression that it only wanted to die for like 10 years. And they have tried all sorts of medication and, help and speech therapy and all sorts of therapy for like the entirety of the child's life. The depression was just so deep, and they couldn't even imagine living. The child had tried to kill itself like 10 times or something like that. Um, so I was like, I understand that it can look, you don't kill a teenager. I mean, roughly said, right? But imagine having it so bad in your head that you just want to die. Why shouldn't you be able to? How is that any different than having, I don't know, cancer or myself in, I don't know, 40 years? If I'm in so much pain that I can't even stand it anymore, shouldn't I be able to say, I don't want to live anymore? It should be my choice, right? So why shouldn't it be a teenager's choice to say, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. Exactly, Sabrina. It would be horrible. I mean, even though I would miss my child dearly and wish that something could have been done, but if you have already tried everything possible, I would say, yes, my child, I love you so much that I'm willing to say goodbye to you for you to have a peace of mind. I mean, I would miss you and I would hate to say goodbye, but this is your life. You have to make the decision that you feel is right. Yeah. Oh, your poor dad. Yes, that is cruel when people have to lay there for, and then you say 3 days. Imagine people who live for years and years. I just saw an article here in Denmark with a woman who, have a mother who got a brain bleed 20 years ago, who's a vegetable and has been for 20 years. I mean, how is that okay? Especially because she said, I know my mom wouldn't want this. My mom would not want to live like this. So why do we do that to people? We help our animals when they're in need, if they're very ill. We euthanize them. So why can't we do that with us? I mean, it's horrible. Exactly, Stephanie. I don't understand why others have to decide over my life. It's my life. When I had my big neck surgery in 2016, I had told David, if they come and tell you that they made some horrible mistake and that I will end up like a vegetable, my brain would work because they worked on my neck. So if they made anything, it would be from my neck and down. Um, don't wake me up. Let me die. I don't want to be a vegetable and be a burden on anybody, because I would be a burden if I was in a wheelchair and couldn't do anything but talk all day. Poor people. I mean, I would whine. I don't like to whine, but if I couldn't do anything, yeah, I would just want to die. I mean, it sounds so hard when I say it. I know, but yeah. We euthanize animals to protect them from their pain and suffering. People should be able to speak and advocate for themselves. Exactly, Stephanie. So many don't want to be a burden. I don't want to be remembered dying. And so, exactly. Going on their terms is what matters. Exactly. Yeah, Sabrina, I feel we have to respect their decision and keep their stories and love alive by sharing their stories. Precisely. I mean, I love that your mom got to do it her way instead of ending up like your dad who suffered. David's aunt had what I'm right now Alzheimer's, and she ended up, didn't want to live anymore, so she just stopped eating and drinking and taking her medication, and it took her almost a week. I mean, shouldn't she have been able to say way earlier when she still knew what was going on? When the time comes that I'm such a big burden on everybody that I can't do anything for myself, which she couldn't. She couldn't dress herself. She couldn't, do anything for herself anymore. when it comes to that point, I should be able to say, when it comes to this, let me die, without me having to suffer or anything like that. It should be a human right. Yeah, exactly, Stephanie. I feel like assisted suicide or terms like that aren't representative of that process either. It's dying with dignity. Yeah. Is it assisted suicide? I think it has assisted. Uh, I don't know. In Denmark, if a doctor does it, he has to go to jail because it's murder. How wrong is that? I mean, we have a doctor who's gone to jail and had fines for a lot of money because he admitted having done it to several people. Because, like he said, I'm doing the right thing here, but he had to go to jail. Yeah, Alzheimer is hard. I worked in a home for people with dementia and Alzheimer's, and they're poor families. I mean, and now we've had it in David's family, in our family, and it was so hard, especially on her husband, because she couldn't be alone, and she actually stayed home much longer that she really should have, because in the end he was he was worn down. When did they start having that in Canada, Sabrina? Because I'm still hoping that we get it here one day. But I mean, they take it up to a discussion in the health department, every I don't know how many years, and they always end up saying, no, no, it's too controversial, and I don't know what. And then, every now and then there is an article or something in the news, and the people want it. So I'm like, if the people want this, how hard can it be? Make some rules that you can't just show up from the street and say, oh yeah, by the way, kill me because I'm having a bad day. There has to be a certain time, or some rules for how to do this. But it should be available. Yeah, I mean, people with Alzheimer's, they're there, but they're not. It was so hard going to David's aunt, and like, she looked at me, smiling, but she had no idea who I was anymore. And I'm not a blood relative, and I still felt, you know, bad. I can't even imagine what it would have been like for David's mother, who had to see her sister like that. Yeah. Dementia and Alzheimer's is horrible. And there's a lot of rules here in Europe, in the countries that has it as well. I mean, we had a child star. She was in a children's program when I was a kid, who had the thing with the lungs, where the lungs is slowly dying. What's it called? The sickness with the lungs. Uh, I can't even remember. So, well, anyway, she had already gotten one pair of lungs, and her body was rejecting them. No, not no, 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 not tuberculosis. It's something that you're born with. I can't remember the name of it right now. So she had already gotten, yes, cystic fibrosis, that was the name. So she had that and had already gotten one pair of lungs, and her body was starting to reject them. And she was like, I don't want to get that sick again. So I decide that I want to die on my terms. And she had, TV shows and news reports and everything. I don't think that there was a TV show with her when she died, but she had, gigantic group of friends and family there with her when she died. And she was like, this is my choice, even though she was just like, she was my age. And this is like 5 or 6 years ago. So she was young, but she was like, I can't do this again. I mean, first time around, I I couldn't breathe, I couldn't do anything. I could hardly, function. And no. So and that's one of the times where we had this major discussion, in our society, and people were like, yeah, give this to us right now. And but again, the system said no. So yeah. I mean, I love this discussion, but I've been here an hour by now. So maybe I need to end it around here. But don't forget, I'm live with Shay in about 3 hours from now. And before you leave me, don't forget to hit the like button. I would really, really love it. Yes, I'll see you there, Stephanie. I'm so excited to be there. And I'm not the only guest there today. So who knows? I'll see you there. So thank you for showing up here. It's so great to talk to you all. And thank you for the nice discussions. We were all over the place, but yay. So you're all so awesome for being here. Don't forget to hit the like button before you go, and I'll see you all next Sunday. Bye. Love you all. Hi.